Hey, welcome back to the channel today. I'm going to talk about education here in Canada and what's available. And I'll go over a brief about my education, where I'm coming from. So basically here in Canada, actually I should start with, there's a saying that I was told on Friday by a fellow coworker: you don't know what you don't know. So basically, until you go to some of these things, you'll be surprised at what you can learn and how it can improve your wildlife control aspect. So to get back, here in Canada is a bit of a wild west from a wildlife control standpoint. Not from a use of traps, but from actual control standpoint, it's a bit of a wild west. So basically, the use of traps right now are governed by the provinces and territories. So to start off with, if I was for education stuff, you're going to want to approach your province's trapping associations to get your trapping license, just because you're going to require that in order to use the vast majority of traps that are out there. And on top of that, these trapping associations, they have a lot of people who have a wealth of knowledge on how to use these traps appropriately and effectively. They also put on seminars and rendezvous where you can go and see live demonstrations for these traps and help you improve the use of how you use these traps. So they are great to get involved with because it's a wealth of knowledge, and your ability to trap animals will substantially go up higher as you attend a lot of these seminars and rendezvous and take your course and so forth. So from there, they're going to cover how to use traps, your different fur bearers, so like skunks, raccoons, red squirrels, stuff like that, beavers, stuff like that. But they're not really going to touch on what you do after you trap them. So what I mean by that is exclusion and deterrence, stuff like that. They're also not going to heavily touch on diseases and so forth. They focus more on the animal handling and the trap use. There's a little bit of diseases and stuff in there, but not a whole lot. So from there, basically you're going to have to go state bound to get any more kind of formal associations or courses that deal strictly with wildlife control. So in the States, you have kind of a few main sources. So you have the National Wildlife Control Training Program. You have the National Wildlife Control Operators Association, and then you have spots like WCT, so Wildlife Control Technologies. It's a magazine, but they put on courses and stuff like that in wildlife control. The vast majority of the courses I've taken after my post-secondary education, so I went to Fleming for Fish and Wildlife Technologist, and then I did a transfer to Trent for my bachelor's in science with honors in biology. So after that, I went to basically a variety of NACOA courses and took them. Both the National Wildlife Control Training Program and NACOA offer a basic operators course. So that's going to go over your basics, anything from setting a cage trap to the different animals you're going to be going after, to the damage that they're going to cause on the property. So that's everything from house damage to property damage in the grass for a set variety of animals. And from there, I mainly focus on the NACOA's courses. And for instance, they have specialized courses in rodents. Their rodent standard course, they have specialized courses on bird management and reptiles. And zoonotics. Now, for instance, I going to use zoonotics as an example why this education is so important. Zoonotics is basically wildlife diseases I know I've talked to a lot of people where, I don't wear gloves or I don't do this because I've been doing this for 20 years and I haven't caught anything. Well, there's a lot of diseases out there that don't have a high mitigating factors, so you might have it and you not even know you have it until one day where it starts to actually affect you more. The other thing is there's diseases out there like rabies you definitely don't want to get. So just keep that in mind. And these courses go over how to protect yourself and stuff like that. And in wildlife control, because you're dealing with it in, day out, even if you don't see the diseases as being prevalent within society, because you're working with animals day in and day out, you are at a lot higher risk. So just keep that in mind. So WCT, it's a magazine. It produces a magazine on a frequency, and in it they have different articles about wildlife control and stuff like that. They also put on courses and so forth. You're also going to find other smaller associations. So, for instance, New York State Wildlife Control Association, they put on little seminars as well. So you can hit a lot of them if anywhere along the northern states. Most of the states have some sort of association that put on stuff like that. So from there, you can jump to product manufacturers. A lot of product manufacturers will put on courses for the different products that they offer. For instance, Bird Barrier puts on a lot of bird management courses relating to their bird netting and their Optica gel here in Canada, stuff like that. AAC, they put on courses relating to their ridge vent guard and their Exclusion Pro vents and stuff like that. And you become certified installers associated with that. So from once you get past those kind of different spots when you're looking for this different education, your next step would be like books and videos, YouTube videos, for instance. I know we carry a bunch of reference materials from Stephen Van Tassel and some from Newt Sterling regarding wildlife control and trap use and stuff like that. The other, I should say, before I jump too far ahead, the other association is the Wildlife Society. They do have a wildlife damage working group. And in that group, they talk about wildlife damage, and they basically talk about different studies that are looking at, for instance, reducing predator numbers to see the effect on livestock predation. Stuff like that. So it's good information. It's a little bit more technical, but it's still good information to have and be able to use. And when I talk about using this information is, if you read my bio, I'm a firm believer in a wildlife program, not just trapping the nuisance animal and saying, hey, your problem solved. So by program, I mean, I want to come, I'll do inspection, I'll list all the factors that are involved in potential wildlife conflicts you're going to have on your property, and I'll basically recommend solutions or repair work that is going to help mitigate those wildlife problems in the future. So by doing that, you're going to be trapping the animal to remove the probable animal causing the problem, and then you're going to fix the area for a future animal can't re-cause the problem. And by doing that, you are effectively implementing a program, and some of these programs can go as far as habitat modification. So for an easy example would be bird feeders close to the house, have the client remove them or move them further away from the house. And this is all stuff that you can learn within this education side to help you be a better wildlife control operator for your clients. So in the future here, what I'd love to see eventually is a wildlife control association where we can gather these different people across Canada who have been doing wildlife and put them together in a room to help provide information and share information regarding wildlife control and different techniques and so forth. And that we can basically share and act as an association. I'd love to see that in the future here in Canada, because it's something that we're going to need and so forth. And when you start doing some of these associations and start attending some of them, you get to network with all these different people, and it gives you even a bigger wealth of knowledge to pull from if you aren't sure how to solve a problem that you're currently facing. And there will be problems that just elude you at times, because wildlife can be so unpredictable at times. So basically, I kind of hope this video helps you figure out what's out there and what you can attend to get better. And hopefully it'll, in the future, you'll be able to do some of this education to better your wildlife control aspect of your business. I'm going to put links into the majority of the different associations that I've mentioned here, for you can go view them for yourself and see if you're interested. Anyway, I hope, like I said, this video helps, and have a good day. And with the season to come, I hope everybody does well. Thanks. Bye.